What up, Doug? Welcome to the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Curt Still. Today, we look at how the Lions added veteran linebacker Zach Cunningham just before the start of OTAs later today. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers and currently sit at 2841. And we have channel membership. So, first thing we know we're going to do on this show is shout out our channel members, man. Y'all see them up on the screen. T-Bone Locks, Sean Bird, Lauren Vander S, my man Brent DeWitt, salute to my veteran, and Miss Mary Smith. So thank you for the channel memberships, man. You can find the link to become a channel member on the homepage of the channel or in the description of the video. So go ahead, man. You get some special emojis, and you get that big discount at the Boss Up Ball Out merch shop. So thank you for joining. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Now it's time to bring in my co-host for today. Y'all know him, man. Y'all love him. Y'all see him down there all over the place down there in Jackson, Michigan, cooking meals, coaching kids, running phase, writing rhymes. It's the Wolf of Lion. Who?
Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
Man, and it's Big Huggy, the chocolate man himself up there in Yaktown, because he's your auntie's favorite Detroit Lions content creator. My man, LL Cool Tones. What's going on, my dude?
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday morning.
Man, I hope everyone, I won't say enjoyed their Memorial Day, but you honored those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. You cooked out. I had some great chicken on the grill. My wife and I, we did a pickleback shot in honor of some fallen comrades of mine. So we honored them on Monday, man. So it's contrary to popular belief, is that's not a happy holiday. You know what I'm saying? You remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. So it should be it should be all about that, honoring those who gave their life in defense of our great nation. All right. So if you are new to this show and you don't know how our platform works, we look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, and takes. If we agree, we say that our boss up with that big blade dance. If we disagree, we say they are balled on, and we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. No hot takes here. You ain't getting no Stephen A. You ain't getting no whoever else, Nick Wright, Skip Bayless, none of those cats, man. We keep it real. We keep it 100 right here on the Boss Up All Out podcast. And if you have a inkling that what we're saying is messed up or it ain't some BS, or if it's some BS, look at LL Cool Tones' face, man, because he gonna tell you straight up 100% that's some BS. You know what I'm saying? Boy can't play poker to save his life, man. Can't even play bid whist right, because you know what I'm saying? If he bid 2, he got 6. All right. All right. So we're gonna kick it on over to Coach Jones, man. We had that nice addition to our linebacker core yesterday, man, coming at you to start of camp today. So, Coach Jones, man, talk to us about what's going on with our linebackers.
So shout out to Brad Holmes, Ray Agnew, and that whole pro personnel staff, man, for signing linebacker Zach Cunningham. Actually, I wanted Lions to draft him when he came out of Vanderbilt. So, that's Vandy, but Vanderbilt, man. Zach Cunningham is a very athletic linebacker. He goes 6'3". He's about 235 to 238, kind of in that range. The guy is explosive. He's quick. Now he doesn't have like long distance speed because he runs like almost like in the late 4.6s, like a 4.6, like 7 or something like that. But he's quick in space. He's very quick. So if you want to look at his injury history, man, or lack thereof, he did miss a couple of games in 2021 and 2022. I think those are with an elbow injury and a knee injury. But besides that, he's been pretty healthy. He's played in more than 13 games 6 times in his career. So out of his 8 seasons, So he's very durable. One thing that I will say a knock on him is he he's not a traditional linebacker. He's not going to stack and shed blocks. Taking block on, kind of fighting it off, and then going and making the play. That's not him. He's not going to do that. So he's a guy who is hard. He's hard to block because he's fast. Because he's quick in space and he moves quickly. Like when he sees it, he goes. Because his closing speed is ridiculous, man. So that's one thing I will say that he does have a problem with is if he does get caught, kind of looking and the lineman gets on him, he's on him and he's blocked and he's just out to play. But he's a guy who actually I think in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, he was like the second highest graded pass defender for linebackers. So he's another guy, I see reports where like, oh, he could be taking Anzalone's spot. Calm down. I don't think so. I mean, Anzalone, he could eventually in the future. But that's not what a Lions signed. The Lions signed him because they need another guy who can cover. Because right now we have kind of zone linebackers. Jack Campbell is more of a zone linebacker. We need another guy like Anzalone who can stick to that guy, who can stick to him in man-to-man coverage. And as of right now, when Anzalone's out the field, we don't have another guy like that. So he adds that to the Lions linebacking core. And I like the move, man. I really do. He's a very productive player. Like let's go to the most recent. In 2023, he played in 13 games for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he had 85 tackles, 54 solo, 31 assisted. So he had 2 tackles for loss. He's a productive guy. He's an athletic guy. I like how he plays downhill. I like how he gets to the ball very quickly. That's one thing I watched a little bit on him, and he does get to the ball fast. Like now his reaction time sometimes a little bit hesitant, but he makes up for it with his quickness and explosiveness to get to the ball. So, but I think it's a good pickup, man, because we desperately needed somebody to cover the running backs and tight ends and slot receivers other than Anzalone, because when Anzalone went down, we were exposed in that area. So, I like the signing. I think it's another sneaky good signing by Brad Holmes and that staff. Boy, they be working, and I like it, man. So shouts out to my man Zach Cunningham, man. You was gonna be a Lion anyways. I wanted you when you came out from Vanderbilt, and you didn't come. So you took that long road, like you had to double back a couple of times, and now you're here. So what's up, man?
Yeah, there's some speculation out there. Oh, what about is he coming in to take Angelone's spot? I don't think so. I agree with you on that. I get a boss up on this signing and your thoughts on that. I think that the signing has more to do with Malcolm Rodriguez being out at the start of the season than it does with the Anzalone contract situation. The last time he was a key contributor in the defense was 2023 in Philly, where he had 85 tackles that year for the Eagles. So we know he can play. Spent last year on Denver's practice squad, appearing in 7 games, only recording 4 tackles. But, it happens, man. I think he could be a camp body, or he can make that initial roster until Rodrigo comes back from injury. But like you said, it's another sneaky signing by Brad Holmes, and it's one of those guys that he's a Brad Holmes special guy that can come in and revitalize his career in Detroit. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not counting on Zach Cunningham to be here in the long haul, but I think that he gets a chance to make the roster, especially with Rodrigo being down for at least probably the first half of the season. So what you got, LL?
Yeah, real quick. I want to say that we need that. Like we really do. Like as you said, Curt, we need him for the beginning stretch of the season, because we got some tough games on the road in that beginning stretch. So not having Rodrigo in that linebacker depth, Zach is going to add to that tremendously.
Right.
My bad, L.
No, you good. You good. I'm along the side with both of y'all, so I give both of y'all a bust up. I think he's more so a depth piece. I don't really know what that means in the end. Rather, he makes the initial 53 or makes the practice squad and just get called up a couple times. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but I think he's just basically a depth piece for exactly what you just said. We actually have two of them coming back from injury. One of them is a whole lot further ahead, and that's Derek Barnes, and then we got Rodrigo coming back as well. We had came back, I was looking at my phone, wanted to see the other guy's name that we had signed this year, and that's Grant Stewart from the Colts, and he's another depth linebacker. I think he may. Just, I guess, as it stands right now, ain't no depth charts or nothing like that. I think he might be ahead of Zach Cunningham. But we'll see. I don't welcome Zach Cunningham. Like you said, sounds like he can play a little bit. His role will become, I guess, he'll know what his role is before we do, of course. But, I fully expect to just be a depth piece. And if we just talking like if he makes the team or whatever it is, I think he may make it, but on the practice squad initially.
Yeah, the only thing with Stewart is that he's more of I think they're looking at him as more of a special teamers, like he's that Jalen Reeves Maven type of replacement. And then, of course, the corresponding move, we have signed Abraham Blowplan earlier this offseason, and they waived him to bring in Zach Cunningham. So Blowplan. We'll holler at you, man. You see me in the street. Give me a what up, though. What's up, sir?
Real quick, LL. I didn't like how you had did that boss up. You had did that like, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of did DJ Reedish.
He did a mini boss.
I'm okay with what you said. Right. I ain't okay with what Curt said. My wrist wasn't bent like that. So
a little boss up.
My wrist don't even bend like that.
Hey man, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All you do is get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself, man. Hey, that Boss Up, Ball Out merch shop is now available. You can find a link in the description of this video and on the channel homepage. Put it in that code, Boss Up, Ball Out 10 at checkout. If you spend $45, you get 10% off one item. And of course, channel members get 15% off their total order. So check the community tab for the code or the link for that discount coupon, channel members. So that's another, incentive to join become a channel member, man. All right, we got some news yesterday about some joint practices, man. LL, what you got on the Lions and their joint practices coming up here in the preseason?
Right now, we heard about one joint practice, and that's with coming up on the preseason schedule, and that's with the Miami Dolphins. Allegedly, it isn't official yet. Both teams are just reporting it though. But Dan Campbell just said that he wanted to actually do more than one joint practice this preseason. The Miami Dolphins currently, I think they said that they have three. They going to joint practice with all of their preseason schedule. So, I'm guessing maybe Dan Campbell may be looking forward to something like that. I don't know. We gonna see. It's already been reported that we may be able to play or have the joint practice with the Texans, or I believe that's what maybe Dan Campbell had said that part. But my question is do y'all? I mean, of course, I know that I kind of figure what you guys are going to answer, but what are the joint practices a good idea? I don't think we've had too many injuries coming out of those, or if there's been too many injuries coming out of those. But of course, just from this standpoint, I like it because it gives you somebody else to hit. Like, you don't want to have to keep hitting them. I mean, you're going to hit whoever because that's football. You probably like hitting whoever. But as far as team goes, you want to be able to hit somebody else. So, you be able to, just change that target up, so you can kind of, just unload how you feel like it. So, like I said, right now it's on the slate, I guess, for the Dolphins and possibly the Texans. I think those are two pretty good teams to have the joint practices with. Depending on who all's there, of course, it'll be a good workout for our secondary because they got some big time speed over there as far as the Dolphins go, and as far as the if we were to do it with the Texans, of course. C.J. Stroud is a pretty good quarterback, and they do have some wide receiver weapons as well. Of course, mainly Nico Collins, so that'll give our secondary a little bit, just a little bit more practice, as well as other position groups as well. But that's what I'm looking at more so, because that's pretty much where they're strong at, and that's not necessarily where we're strong at. But it could give us a chance to, practice against that and get some things figured out. I think that'll do, all of our cornerbacks and defensive backs really well, especially, Terrion Arnold and even Ennis Rakestraw and Amik and everybody else, DJ Reed, everybody else. So what do you guys think about the joint practices? Should we end up having 3 of them total, or are you okay with the just 1 with the Dolphins, or are you okay with the 2 with the Dolphins and the Texans, or you don't want to do none at all? Give me your thoughts, y'all.
I'm gonna give you a boss up on the joint practices. 1 is fine, 2 is fine, 3, I don't know about 3, but at least 2. I like 1 to 2. And like you said, man, it's always cool experience for the players, man. It lets them go up against guys from other teams instead of just their own teammates. And Dan Campbell, it gives him and his coaching staff a chance to see how the newer players are picking up the playbook, excuse me, and how veterans are adjusting to the new scheme. But Shep and Johnny Moe aren't going to shake things up too much with the scheme. So, but of course, you're going to have some play call names going to be switched up with the different staff members. So, with Ben Johnson and all those guys on different teams, what I'll be watching for in camp is who's going to catch that Kirby fade this year. Because that dude be handing them things out, man. So that's what I'm looking for. Who gonna catch that all-pro fade this year? What you got, Coach Jones?
Man, I give it a boss up, and I like it, man. I love joint practices because it allows you to play premium competition in a controlled setting. And, because a lot of people wind up getting banged up during preseason games and things of that nature. And it really allows you to get that work in with your starters and your core players. And then it allows for, in the preseason game, for you to actually get a better look at your bottom of the 53-man roster, so that you get to see them in almost a half the whole game setting where, they're getting to play, man. And I like it, man. I really do like it. I hope they do get a joint practice with the Texans too, because we on the road to start this season, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we need to get all that work in that we can get, man. So I am with it. I am for it. And I like the speed, and I like the playmaking. And if they do get the joint practice with the Texans, that will be good for also the run defense, because Joe Mixon, he's still doing his thing out there, man. He's still, I think he was still like a top 6 running back in the NFL last year, man. Like, so, yeah, I like it, man.
One thing I want to add, just piggyback off what you said, because I like that. We don't normally, last year especially, didn't play any of the big names in the preseason, so the joint practice be a time for them to, out there and get theirs in, because they won't see the preseason field. So this would be their way to, as they say, against live bullets, or whatever the phrase they say. So to get out there in the fire of it all. So thank you for that. That was a good additional point to add there.
And with Dan Campbell being the former interim head coach of the Dolphins, it's not a surprise that that'd be a one team that we have joint practices with his ties to that coaching staff and that organization. So, hey, man, like I said before, I like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, what you waiting on, man? It's free. It's free. And if you need more free, it's free 99 and 50 free cents. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button, man. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Hey, the Boss Up Ball Out podcast is sponsored by who? Dubby Energy Drink, man. We like that Irish Strike brings that blue tropical flavor, the ultimate fuel for conquering. All that is ahead of you. And make sure you try that new s'mores flavor as well, man. Y'all know the benefits of it. You get that laser focus with that green coffee fruit extract. which is the star of the show, helps you concentrate, man. You get them leans, man, all those amino acids. You can check it out, man, with to help you get those brain, enhanced brain function. And all them leans, man. You get them enhanced brain boosting vitamins as well, B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C. The energy comes from 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. No sugar, no maltodextrin, artificial colors or dyes, fillers, or BS. Cost you about $1 per drink. Beats that coffee or canned beverage price every day. No crashes, jitters, or anxiety. You can find a link to buy Dubby Energy Drink in the description of this video. Use that code BOSSOFBALLOUTPOD at checkout to get 10% off your order. Take on your day with Dubby.
Yes,
Y'all know how we get down, man. All right, so for me, on top of the day is, of course, the ESPN. They rank the Lions at the top of positional unit grades. That's something different. We didn't expect to see that. Mike Clay from ESPN, he's like a data analyst. He does a lot of fantasy football, things of nature. He recently ranked NFL teams based on their strength on offense and defense, and the result looked pretty damn good for the Detroit Lions, man. With an overall score of 7.7 out of 10, the Lions were tied for the top spot with our week 3 opponent, the Baltimore Ravens. They got high scores across almost all positions, nearly a perfect 10 in running backs and a solid 9 for safeties. On defense, the Lions stood out with the best score in the league, hitting a 3.4. Only 7 teams scored above a 3.0 on defense. Offensively, the Lions also performed well, landing with a 4.3. They were top 5 in that category, with the Ravens were 4.9. The Ravens scored perfectly on their quarterback and safety, but had mixed results for the rest of their defense and offense. Besides the Lions and Ravens, there were only 3 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs, that scored a 7.0 or higher, ranking them elite. Looking at the NFC North, man, the Minnesota Vikings came in close to the top 5 with a 6.6, followed by the Chicago Bears in the 8th place with a 6.4. And surprisingly, the Green Bay Packers were the last in the division, scored at 10th with a score of 6.3. Now, here's my thing, because we know we've been seeing a whole bunch of BS about the Lions taking a step back. I don't see how they take a step back from last year, like this huge step back. I don't know if y'all heard about Mo Morton from Bleacher Report. That dude is on trip status. He had Detroit finishing at 9-8. He has them going from that's 6. Come on, man. 6 less wins than last season, man. He guys go from 15 wins to 9 wins. Bruh, Mr. Morton, I don't know if you crazy, you on that stuff, or you just making a hot take.
Booger sugar.
Yeah. Your prediction for the season for the Detroit Lions doesn't make sense at all. So what do you guys think about the Lions being ranked at the top of the league in unit positional grades? It is, to me, it tells you that the Lions are coming. And here's my thing. The Lions are healthier than they were last year to start the season. So even with the guys that are going to be out at the beginning of the season, or a few guys are going to be out, the Lions are going to be healthier coming into the season this year. It's not going to be the end like it was at the end of last year. So what do you guys think about the Lions being at 7.7, right up there with the Ravens?
Yeah.
What you got, Coach?
You know what? I give it a boss up, and it's validation that a lot of y'all analysts and a lot of y'all media writers don't know a damn thing. Because if the Lions are top in the positional groups and their grades, then the scheme that they're talking about, the coach are gonna run the same scheme. So if those players are at the top, why do they think the Lions are gonna have such a big drop off? Like you said, 9 wins, you ought to smack that dude. But you know what? Like I said, I went with 11 wins. So that's still a far drop, man. But the positional grades, man, I mean, I mean, who has what they say we have like the third best O line, I believe, um, behind Philly and the
Mm,
Chargers. I think they had
mm,
the two better O lines, quote unquote. But I just don't see. I just don't see where we're gonna have that big of a drop off, man. With our guys being so young, and Brad and Ray, but they're paying attention to detail and signing the right guys that we need to sign. Like I think Roy Lopez and Zach Cunningham are gonna be key additions, and I just don't see, man. Our units are top notch, man. So all these people predicting the Lions to have a fall off, y'all can go to the top of that building right there, and then y'all can fall off.
I ain't messing with
mm-hmm.
you. But I would say this. I'm just looking at this, and I listen to a lot of Sirius XM, and Jim and Pat in the afternoons they do positional grades for each like unit for the league, and they rank it in divisions, right? The Lions were the only group to score a perfect 20 out of 20 in the running back room. The only ones. They were the only ones in the league that scored I think the closest was the two closest were the Philadelphia and Baltimore. And Baltimore, of course, for Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, and then of course Saquon Barkley down there in Philly. So if we have one of the top offensive lines and the top running back room in the league, just because Ben Johnson ain't there doesn't mean they just going. What they gonna stop? They gonna stop learning how to do things? Come on, man, get out of here with that crap, man. Trust me, Ben Johnson, he was a part of our success, but he wasn't the only reason for the Lions' success, man. I like Dan Campbell can't coach or something like that. I like the guys that are still here are just like trash. I don't get it. What you got, LL?
I think people are putting way too much weight on the coordinator situation. I get it because one of the more recent things in their mind might be the Philly. You know, when Philly lost both their coordinators, they fell off, almost like a side of a cliff type thing. But I don't, because you got another example in, Baltimore or Kansas City that lose coordinators every year, it seemed like, and they just keep that thing on the rolling. But I guess as far as the topic, I meant to start this, I'm going to give it like a boss, and look at my wrist now. I give it a boss of both, because just the boss up, because good for them for having the high ranking, and the boss or the ball down, because I don't care. I don't care about the rankings and what you
never
said,
care.
Yeah, you said we got like a 9 at the safety or something like that, and Baltimore got a perfect something like that. That's wrong. Like I feel like our safeties are better than the Ravens, so I feel like you said, we got the Chargers in the mix for the offensive line. I feel like we got them. We got those guys beat, but that's just my opinion. I just don't really care about them rankings. It's just for stuff like this, for people to pile up and talk about it. And they always have to, I forget, they got a name for it. It's actually a technical name for putting shit in there just for arguing. I forget the name for it. They say it on Chris Canningham's show kind of often. Like, whenever they make a list, I have to add this because it's the term for everybody to talk about it. So putting the Lions at 9 and 8 is that. The internet may call it shit posting, but that's not what they were calling. Just saying shit for reaction. So and that's another thing. Like, we don't, as long as I've
you talking about clickbait?
No. It's like it's like that, but it's like a worse term. It's like a more derogatory term for it.
Okay.
I can't remember that. Whatever. It ain't important. But we don't mess with PFF anyway. Like, as long as I've been associated with the Detroit Lions on the prowl and now the boss up ball out, I don't think we really value PFF's opinion very highly. I don't really care what they have to say. It
is what it is.
Because I'm just for context, I would say I'm wondering where they rank somebody like the Bears or the Vikings or something like that. And it's probably just based upon the coordinators leaving, all this other kind of mess. So again, good for the Lions for the rankings, but I don't care.
Yeah, I would say the one thing is that with the safeties, and I don't, and I get it for namesake, but I don't get it for performance. Kyle Hamilton is always ranked above Kirby Joseph.
He always
for some reason. And Kyle Hamilton, even last year, first team All Pro was Kirby Joseph. Kyle Hamilton was second team. He was All Pro, but he was second team All Pro in AP. Pro Football Writers definitely had, and Kirby Joseph was a first team All Pro over there as well. Kyle Hamilton was on late down the list from another network, as far as I think it was the Sporting News had him as a first team All Pro, and they had him tied with Brian Branch. But when the AP, which is the one that count for me as well, is like Xavier McKinney and Kirby Joseph was first team All Pro. Kyle Hamilton is a good talent, and I get because they use him all over the place in their scheme, and you're seeing that more of that with Kirby Joseph. But Kirby Joseph led the league in interceptions, and I just can't see how you just keep having this guy because he was a bigger talent coming out of college, coming out of Notre Dame than Kirby Joseph was coming out of Illinois. But Kirby Joseph had proven on the field that he is just as good or better at some things than Kyle Hamilton is.
It's probably because Kyle Hamilton got a cool nickname. That's all. They call him the Avatar, so maybe that's why they just he got a cool nickname. I don't know, but he be hurt as hell too. Like that, he good. Like I like him. I don't know if we want to go back to draft talks and stuff. We had a couple arguments about him, but no, he do.
I like Kyle Hamilton. Yeah,
I like him a lot, but nah, not on my dog, man.
Yeah, not on Curve, man. That's my dude right there, man. And of course, again, I'm looking to all the people who may be catching the Kirby fade doing joint practice this year, because Malik Neighbors he thought it was sweet. So,
Curry gonna whoop you and he gonna do the Merton Hanks.
Yeah, all over your grill. Hey man, like the video, share the video, hey, comment on this thing, man. Hey, it's Hump Day, baby. Hey, right here at the Ball Out Podcast. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms, man. Coach Jones does a great job at Wolverine Sports Talk and doing some shorts over here on this channel. And of course, I post content from this channel on all of my social media platforms. And it's Wednesday, which means it is Thursday Eve. So make sure you go follow LL Cool Torrance over there on his Instagram page, man. Because, last week, man, it was definitely a great Memorial Day Thursday over there on his Instagram page, man. All right, time for parting shots for everyone on this Hump Day, man. Coach Jones, what you got?
Man. So happy Hump Day. I ain't got to work. I got so many days, so many hours of PTO and vacation time. And I just be choosing days I've been putting in. I'm not going to work that day. But I just like to say, man, that people please stop with the headline. Like, I know it's the off season and we'll be trying to find stuff, but don't be like, "Oh, Zach Cunningham is an Alexander Leonard replacement." Stop, man. Like, stop. Cause y'all sound foolish. Like, now it might happen, but it's not like that's not the reason why they got him. Okay. So just please stop the narratives, man. I kind of get a little bit burnt out with the whole, it's because of this type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait till the season starts so we can get back to real reporting and stop overhyping stuff to make it seem like stuff, to make it seem important, to get views and clickbait. Please let the season start. Please.
Yeah, definitely. What you got, LL, for the people today on this Hump Day or Thursday Eve, like we know it here on the channel?
Coach Mike, just to, happy Wednesday morning, everybody. But just to piggyback off what Coach Mike said, just stop. But we know how it go because we are like that here. We've been picking just, topics to, have something to talk about for the most part, have something to bring to y'all. But that's kind of what's going on everywhere because there ain't nothing to report on. So they got to say something. It was a whole lot of big when they was talking about trading J-Mo, then Brad Holmes came out and said that was never an option. So that just showed what, so many people I talked to, that's the thing I hate about everything. It just be somebody, I know somebody, I talk to somebody, and they just be saying shit. And then you
the
got
sources.
Like Brad Holmes. Yeah, I talked to somebody over there, and they said that Jamison Williams has been packing up all of his sneakers and everything. He's ready to move. And then all of a sudden he said it's never an option. So that just goes to show that people just be saying whatever to get a reaction. in everyday life. It don't have to be football. It could be somebody at the gas station talking loud in the back because they short 25 cents already and they about to go up there and argue with somebody so they ain't got to pay 25 cents for their juice or whatever it is. I don't know. Just leave crazy people alone is all I pretty much got to say. And have a great rest of your Wednesday. And don't worry about Thursdays or nothing like that.
Anywho, all right. So for me on this Wednesday, man, on this hump day, man, thank you for tuning in right here on the Boss Up Parlay podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions newsrooms. We'll be back on Friday for our live show. We're gonna be looking at the first couple of days of OTAs, which start today. OTAs start today. It ain't really a big deal. It's shorts and shells, so you'll probably get little reports probably for the first couple of days, open to the media. But and then, of course, the last OTAs will be next week. We will report on that as well next week. And then when the players take a little break, we're going to take a little break here. You'll get some shorts here and there from us. And then we'll kick off season 2 when training camp starts. So this will be the last few episodes of season 1 of the Boss Up Parlay podcast. And when training camp starts, we're going to kick off season 2 and we'll get this thing rolling, man. Thank you guys for all the support and love that you guys been showing us, man. All the people who have been coming back from Detroit Lions on the Prowl and all our new people that will be coming over from different platforms and, and sharing that love and supporting the Boss Up Parlay podcast. We appreciate you. Man, if you're having a good day, especially on a Wednesday, man, sometimes, especially after a long weekend, Wednesdays can be a little bit hard because you got a little extra work because you missed a day of work that, you were off a few days ago. Man, that could be a little tough, man. If you're having a good day, please spread that kindness, man, because you never know when a small word can be helpful to someone, change their outlook on their day or even their life. If you're not having a good day, please don't ruin no one else's day. And whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon. Y'all got no back.